Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reading the Red this very rainy Friday morning. It finally came. Still quite warm out though. Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. And Jesus really hits the hammer on the head as he relates to his instructions this morning to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He says, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint and dill and cumin, and have neglected the weightier provisions of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. But these things you should have done without neglecting the others." So Jesus is saying to them that you have invested yourself in the tithing of all of these items. So you've kept the law as it relates to the stuff. You've paid your due, but you've neglected the important things. And these important things are precious to God. One of the reasons why we give God a tithe is so that we can invest our faith in his provision to provide for us for that which we've released to him. The provision that we give to God isn't because God needs it. It's because there's an opportunity for us to sow faith in God in order for him to bless us with what we've trusted him with. And he says, you've kept that side of the bargain and you're benefited from it, because whatever we sow, we reap. But you've neglected the most important things. And what he's really describing is the royal law. And it's the royal law of love that we've talked about in that previous times. That God wants us to love him, to love the world, and to love ourselves. And in a time when we see the escalation of hatred, especially for God's people, we realize that we are at the dawn of a new awakening, that the earth and the land is beginning to give birth to something wrong. And Jesus is saying to these guys that you have neglected these things, mercy and compassion and righteousness. You've neglected them. You've not walked in them. You've not applied them. You've not lived in them. You've not shined them out into the world so that the world can see what it is to be connected to me. He's saying you were supposed to represent me, but you're not. You're misrepresenting me because you're not doing the things that I do. Where is your compassion? Where is your love? Where is your mercy? Where is your tenderness? You can hear the cry of Jesus as he speaks the words to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. His frustration is upon them. And as we move into a time in these days when we see this hatred growing, it come about because we have neglected the royal law of love, that we are to love the world with all of our heart, soul, mind and strength, and love our neighbour as we love ourselves. Brothers and sisters, I encourage you to go into the world today and be a representation of God by loving the world with all that you can. And if it moves, love it. If love is not involved in your actions, then you've moved away from the will of God. Have a great day. Be blessed. Thank you for joining me. Stay dry, and I'll see you tomorrow, Monday.